back at Auckland for the next leg of the road trip. Yeah, we followed an Air New Zealand ATR into here in the last video, and looks like we'll be following one out as well, in hopefully what will not be one of my last ever flights in this Nimbus Islander. Now, I say that because the most recent X-Plane beta version completely breaks this plane. Yeah, none of the switches and buttons work at all. It complains about differently named data refs. So I've rolled back to the last non-beta full release of X-Plane, and here it is working fine. So hopefully that's just an error in the beta version, as things don't always work there because it is a beta version. But whatever the issue or change is, if that does make it to the next full release, then potentially it might be the end of the Islander. Nimbus seem to be fairly pathetic when it comes to customer support regarding fixing stuff or upgrading this plane now, so I'll just have to keep my fingers crossed. Yeah, one of those things. I've had it for quite a while, so I've certainly got my money's worth out of it, I suppose. And things do evolve, don't they? X-Plane, it keeps adding stuff and better bits and pieces, and this is an old X-Plane 11 aircraft with a mostly working patch to get it to operate in X-Plane 12, which Nimbus did. So it will die at some point due to its age, but hopefully not just yet, as I do quite like it. But much like I found out with my hair, nothing lasts forever, does it? All those years ago I realised I was going bald when it kept taking longer and longer to wash my face. Incoming aircraft, but they are quite a distance away, so there should be plenty of room to get that jet up into the air, then the ATR, and then me, all before the incoming aircraft gets here. Can't really see him taking off very well with the sun's glare. I think I'll just follow Mr. ATR out onto the runway and we can line up behind him. We'll let him get airborne before I start my takeoff roll, but let's face it, with the difference in my plane to that one, I'm not going to catch him up, so we'll be safe enough. Good, away he goes, that's nice. And he's airborne, so let's go for it. Good. And wave goodbye to the very nice Auckland International, originally made by a guy with the forum name of Kiwi the Iwick. Very nice scenery, apart from Gate 4, which is a little bit broken at the moment. Right, we will go and find Highway 1 this time and follow it a little bit north before we turn left and head for our destination today, which is Pikes Point, NZPK. But back to talking planes, I probably won't bother, but I was interested to see that Just Flight have released a Piper Warrior. And I must admit that slightly tempted, as most of my real world flying was in a Piper Warrior, so I doubt it, but you never know, I may suddenly show up in a PA-28 one day reliving some old memories. But again, probably not, but what might be a little bit more likely is that I've stumbled on a video about the Toga Simulations MU2. I must admit, I quite like the look of that. Apparently it has a few unique quirks to flying it. It's not the easiest or most forgiving plane to fly, which are all plus points as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, if I did choose to buy something, that could be an option. I mean, like the Islander, it's not a new aircraft, and I may have to look at just how much Toga Simulations still seem to care about it. So I don't know yet. If anybody watching has any experience with products from Toga Simulations, especially the MU2, please do let me know. Yeah, I'd be interested. Right then, this is it just coming up here. Highway 1. Yep, we found it. Yeah, close to there is a place called Tip Top Bread, where Dorothy Nansen gave them 3 out of 5 stars and wrote, "Was help my husband deliver?" I know what those 5 words mean individually. I don't recall ever seeing them in that order in a sentence. Not entirely sure what you mean there, Dorothy, and I'm not confident that you know what you mean either. Yeah, so that's Tip Top Bread, and then a little farther up Highway 1 is Tip Top Ice Cream. Don't know, but I would assume those two companies are related. But Tip Top Ice Cream has an average Google rating of 3.5. Seriously, it's ice cream. Everybody loves ice cream. Just how bad do you have to be to only score 3.5 stars for ice cream? Jeez. Anyway, airport. And in case you didn't know, this was a small grass runway airstrip next to the water. That shut down a number of years ago and became a massive car park, although there is a helicopter place there at the end of what was the old runway. There's also a large container storage area. So what I did was put some of the containers into the scenery and built a fake runway between them, so that you kind of wanted it to feel a bit confined and claustrophobic when you land there. Well, that was the plan anyway when I made this scenery, and I think it kind of worked. So yeah, total fantasy place, but good bit of fun. Yeah, originally used Mr. X library items to put into the scenery for the containers, and a little mod to his library to make the containers a hard surface, so that if you crashed into them, then that it would register a hit and it would be a crash. A nice little extra at the time, but since then there have been updates by him to the Mr. X library, and that overwrote my mod, and never bothered editing all the object files again. So they are soft containers now which you can fly and taxi straight through, but we'll try and make a decent landing anyway. Attempt to miss them all. Yeah, that seemed to go quite well. Yeah, happy enough with that one. It is just about wide enough to have not scraped any paint off the wingtips. because obviously I wouldn't want to damage any aircraft that I fly, and I almost never do, which is nice. But there's an apron area down here I put in, which is why we landed this way, so we don't have to turn round. Takes you to the back of the helicopter building, and I've made that my aircraft parking now. In real life it's yet more car parking for the car distribution group, although Google satellite pictures shows hundreds and hundreds of cars parked there, so that they're not exactly speedy when it comes to distributing them, the car distribution group. Never mind. Yeah, so that's it. Safe arrival after the short journey to Pikes Point for this leg of the road trip. Probably a slightly bigger journey next time, as it's probably going to be North Shore, which is the next one that doesn't need a huge detour away from Highway 1, but yeah, that should give us more opportunity to perhaps explore some more Google reviews for locations along the way. Yeah, okay then, I'll see you soon. Bye!